Be wired. Feels good in here, doesn't it? Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Oh, good.
More music. You got in there? What kind of salads do they have over there? You didn't take any bananas yet? You didn't take any bananas?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 84th annual meeting of the Lake Region Electric Cooperative. I'm Tom Jenin, and on behalf of the Board of Directors, management, and employees, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. At this time, we will play the Pledge of Allegiance recited by our employees.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would now like to call on Director of District 8, Sid Wisness, to give the invocation. Sid?
Thank you, Tom, and good evening. Let's bow for a moment of prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for your goodness and graciousness shown to us. We come to you tonight thanking you for all you've done and your presence as we go through and about our individual lives. We thank you for your Lake Region Electric Cooperative and the many employees who work diligently, serving in their capacities to honorably and unselfishly serve our members and consumers. For that, we are grateful. We are coming to you asking for continued blessings and safety as we strive to serve you here at our utility and in each of our daily lives. May you protect and keep all of our employees safe at the workplace as well as at home. May you keep each of our cooperative members safe and free from illness, especially in these days with COVID pandemic. Guide us in all we do as a utility, that we would serve you and take care of one another to provide reliable electric service to our members. We ask that you bless this annual meeting of the Lake Region Electric. Bless all the presenters and all the members. May it be informative and meet their needs. We ask these things in your name and for your service. Amen.
Thank you, Sid. As chairman of the Board of Directors, I call this business meeting to order. I want to mention that before we adjourn tonight's meeting, we will draw for prizes. You must be online at the conclusion of the meeting to claim your prize. Also, feel free to let us know where you are from in the chat box on the screen. Now I'd like to invite our Board Secretary, Joyce Valley, to join me at the other podium.
As Secretary of the Board of Directors, I certify that the official notice of the annual meeting was mailed the week of May 3rd, 2021, in the Cooperative's newsletter. The Cooperative's bylaws state that members present in person, represented by mail ballot or electronic ballot, constitute a quorum. We have received 50+ mail-in and electronic ballots, and therefore a quorum has been established.
For tonight's meeting, I appoint Cynthia Brzezowski, Executive Assistant, as Recording Secretary. The agenda has been made available on our website. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda as the official order of the meeting? I make a motion. Is there a second to this motion? I second. The motion's been made and seconded to approve the agenda. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Those opposed, say the same sign. The motion carries.
The annual meeting minutes have been made available on our website. I move the official 2020 annual meeting minutes be adopted as written.
Is there a second to this motion? I second. All those in favor of this motion signify by saying aye. And those opposed, the same sign. The motion carries. For many of our members, this past year has been filled with numerous hurdles to overcome. It has shown us that there is an ever-increasing need for reliability, safety, and constant communication. Throughout it all, the Lake Region Electric Cooperative has maintained steadfast and its never-ending never wavering and to serve its members. With this being said, I would like to take a moment to thank our employees. Each and every one of you play such an important role in our ability to serve our members. And in a time when we needed it most, you did not let us down. Thank you to everyone for all that you do and for always ensuring our members are taken care of. If this past year has shown us anything, it is that we must continue to innovate and evolve. The global health pandemic has created a catalyst of change for Lake Region, and we have set new goals so we can remain member motivated and member focused. In doing this, Lake Region has implemented new and advanced technology, constructed a distribution grid improvement plan, invested in clean and renewable energy, pursued new avenues of affordability and reliable electricity, and sought financial relief for our members. Each of these goals is an investment into the future of the co-op and into the future of our members. The changes we make now will have significant impacts on future generations of Lake Region members. Now is not the time for status quo thinking, but a time to explore innovative strategies to serve our members. It is a very exciting phase for Lake Region and the members who will greatly benefit from the improvements we are making. The details of each improvement will be discussed by CEO Tim Thompson, with a further breakdown of the research and benefits behind each of these decisions that we have made for our members. In discussing our membership, I would like to touch on an important topic, capital credits. If the financial condition of the cooperative allows, a cooperative pays out capital credits to its members. Lake Region's financial condition over the years has allowed us to pay out capital credits on a regular basis. Like Lake Region, Great River Energy, which is Lake Region's energy supplier, is a cooperative. Prior to 2019, Great River Energy did not pay out capital credits to its members. Lake Region is a member of GRE. In 2019, Great River Energy paid out capital credits. This happened in 2020 and 2021 as well. Lake Region has a policy that we only pay out capital credits that we have received from GRE. When Lake Region receives capital credits from GRE, it pays those out to eligible members. Lake Region pays out capital credits through a general retirement or a special retirement. A special retirement happens when a member passes away and Lake Region is requested to pay out all the deceased members' capital credits. This is significant because it allows family members to get paid all of Lake Region's capital credits now rather than waiting for the general retirement. In addition, unlike most co-ops in Minnesota, Lake Region does not discount the value of the deceased member's capital credits upon special retirement. As a result, Lake Region retires 100% of the value of capital credits in such a situation. The board spent time discussing how to handle Great River Energy capital credits as part of the special retirement. The board made the decision to only pay out the Great River Energy capital credits actually paid to Lake Region as part of a special retirement. In other words, if Lake Region did not receive payment from GRE, Lake Region wouldn't pay out any of the GRE capital credits as part of the special retirement. Paying out capital credits where Lake Region didn't receive the money is not fair to the current members because there is no guarantee that Great River Energy will continue to pay out capital credits. If Lake Region Electric paid out all the general GRE capital credits, Lake Region Electric would be paying out money that it hasn't received and may never receive. I hope this gives you a better understanding of how our capital credit program works. Thank you, and now I'd like to introduce the Board of Directors. Denny Tallis from District 1, Pelican Rapids. Denny has served as director of the district for 12 years. Denny has also served on the Great River Energy Board of Directors for the past 2 years. He'll be retiring from the board in June. Thank you, Denny, for your years of service to our members. Cecil Bud Hensel, District 2, Frazee. Mike Brazel, District 3, Perham, serves on the Great River Energy Board of Directors. Earl Rydell, District 4, Dent. Patrick Myers, District 5, Detroit Lakes. Joyce Valley, District 6, Pelican Rapids, and also serves as secretary. Tom Jenin, District 7, Fergus Falls, chair. Sid Wisnes, District 8, Battle Lake, vice chair. Robert Shaw, District 9, Hanning, treasurer. The next order of business of our agenda is the election process. I want to introduce our attorney, Chad Fellstuhl, who will further explain this process. Chad?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In June 2012, the membership approved the amended and restated Articles of Incorporation and bylaws that states, in the event there is only one candidate duly nominated for election to the director position, that single candidate nominated shall be deemed elected by acclamation as an unopposed candidate, and no voting shall be required for such uncontested director election. Therefore, I would like to present to you the candidates elected by acclamation as unopposed candidates, and no voting was required. Kurt Kruger from District 1 and Tom Jenin from District 7. There is an election being held in District 4, and the candidates are Earl Rydell and Dave Pawlowski. Because this year's meeting is being held virtually, all ballots were submitted by mail or electronic transmission. Only those members in District 4 can vote for Mr. Rydell or Mr. Pawlowski. In years past, the ballots were submitted to the Cooperative and counted by tellers who were members of the 9 districts of the Cooperative. This year, all of the ballots were submitted to Survey and Ballot Systems, who counted and certified the ballots that were mailed in and the electronic ballots. There were 117 web ballots and 336 mail ballots, for a total of 453 ballots cast. I will now turn it back to the chairman, Tom Jenin.
Now I'd like to introduce CEO Tim Thompson for his presentation.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for participating in your annual meeting, the 84th annual meeting of Lake Region Electric Cooperative. As we come together tonight for this virtual annual meeting, imagine with me what it must have been like back in the early days of this cooperative at those annual meetings, where members would gather together to celebrate their incredible accomplishment of bringing electricity out into those rural areas where they lived, so they too could enjoy the benefits of electricity and improve their quality of life. Hearing those stories of what it was like back in the early years of this cooperative are truly inspiring to me, especially when those stories come directly from one of our members. I have a letter that we recently received from one of our members that I wanted to share with you tonight that I believe is inspiring. This came to Lake Region in January of this year. Dear Tim, I have been a member of Lake Region Electric Cooperative for 73 years. I am 93 years old and gratefully live in my own home. I remember so well the beginnings of Lake Region Electric Cooperative. In 1947, the ground holes were dug by hand in the summer and fall. An old army truck came the next spring to set the poles up. In the summer of 1948, the lines were put in place and the buildings were wired and the lights were turned on. After thrashing in the grain fields all day long, we were able to turn the yard light on and enjoy the day longer. So wonderful. People's lives really changed after we got electricity. Reliable, prompt, and excellent customer service is what I always experienced. Wishing you, the board of directors, and all the employees continued success. You know, on the surface, it appears that everything has changed since those early years of Lake Region Electric Cooperative, but at our core, you know, things really haven't changed all that much. You, the member owners of this cooperative, still own the cooperative. You also elect your board of directors to govern this cooperative, and our mission is still to serve you, the member owners. It is my privilege tonight to share with you the many ways that we are trying to fulfill that noble mission and serve you. I would like to use my time tonight to talk about how we are keeping your rates affordable so everybody can afford electricity. I'm going to talk about our rate stability plan. I'm really excited to share with you some new things we are doing that we believe will continue to improve your reliability and reduce the number of outages that you experience. I will share with you the financial performance of the cooperative for 2020. And I'll wrap up by looking to the future, talking about our evolving generation portfolio of assets at Great River Energy and how we are transitioning away from coal into more renewables and what that means for the members of Lake Region Electric Cooperative. Well, your cooperative certainly has grown over the years. This slide represents 28,776 electric consumers across our 3,200 square miles of service territory. We now own and operate over 5,809 miles of power line. And now that we have a natural gas business as well, we are serving 798 natural gas customers, and we own and operate 68 miles of natural gas line. At the core of our mission to serve you is to make sure that our rates remain stable. When we look at our member rate forecast, there's a lot of good news right now. As we look to the future, we don't see a need for any rate increases. In fact, we've only had one rate increase in the last 7 years, and we expect that to continue into future years. Now, as this graph shows, that has not always been the case. During those blue years, you can see we were having increased rates for our members. That was driven primarily because Great River Energy was having wholesale power increases, and we in turn needed to pass most of that on to you at the retail level, which was driving our rates up. There's a lot of good reasons why we've been able to achieve this rate stability environment, and I'd like to share some of those with you. With our rate stability plan, one of the big reasons why we've been able to keep our rates stable is because we have embraced new technology and innovation throughout our organization. I would like to take a moment to first of all thank all of our employees and compliment all of our employees for embracing technology and innovation in our organization to find new ways to serve our members, to gain efficiencies, to drive costs out of our organization. It really has made a difference. A few specific examples, our linemen, for example, who now work in the field with an iPad. For example, in the past, linemen in each truck had a paper copy of our system map, a map book as we called it. Today, it's easily accessible right on their iPad in the field. I like to say we have the power in the palm of our employees with these type of electronic devices. Much more efficient, helps drive costs out of our organization. Another example is our electronic processes that we have in our new natural gas business. When we started this new natural gas business from scratch, our employees did a terrific job of designing all of our processes in an electronic way. So for example, when our employees in the office are communicating with our employees in the field, it's totally electronic. There's no more paper service orders and paper floating around. It's an electronic process that's very efficient. I'm really proud that we now have over 10,000 of our members signed up for our electronic billing and our electronic news flashes each month. In the past, we always had to print those and mail those out to our members. With electronic billing and electronic news flashes, we don't have to spend all that time and money printing and for postage to mail out those pieces of information to our members. Yet another area of great use of technology is our data analytics. We are using data analytics now to reduce outages and minimize the repeat outages for our members. This map down in the right-hand corner of your screen shows where we have pockets of our service territory where members have had more than 6 outages during a 12-month period. With our data analytics, we can pinpoint these outages and work towards reducing those repeat outages, driving down our costs. I'm going to come back to that slide later in the reliability section. Another big part of our rate stability plan is our load management program that helps us save money by reducing our peak billing periods on those cold winter days and on those hot summer days when the price of electricity is high. We have a load management system where we can reduce that load and save money for all of our members. What's on this slide, the blue line, actually shows our total load the day of back in February when we had those really cold temperatures. You can see at the midday, it peaked a little bit, and then that blue line dips down, and we get to that kind of that supper time period about 5 o'clock. Without our load management system that we have, and we have over 10,000 members participating in one of our load management programs, without that, during that critical billing peak period, our load would have continued to increase following that dotted yellow line. Instead of us being up on that more expensive yellow dotted line, our load with our load management system actually goes down and is reduced and followed that solid yellow line. So what this chart shows is, in that white arrow that says savings, that difference is all savings for the members of Lake Region Electric, and that total for the month of February alone, for 1 month, was $337,000 of savings. Thank you to the members who participate in our load management program. Yet another good example under our rate stabilization plan of a new revenue source is our standby generator program. This is really a premium service for members who really need their own individual standby generator at their house. In the event there is a power outage, that will automatically come on and power their house, or at least parts of their house. When we bring new programs like this to the marketplace, this creates new revenue streams and rate benefits for all of our members. In 2020, this program brought in $489,000 of new revenue and produced a margin of $84,000. That's good for all Lake Region members. This has been a very popular program. We have now sold 313 standby generators in the first 4 years of this program. And at the bottom of the screen there is direct feedback from one of our members in our customer satisfaction survey that says the whole experience with Lake Region Electric Cooperative from start to finish was excellent. Yet another example of how we are helping keep our members' rates stable is with our local renewable energy projects. This slide shows our largest renewable energy project. It's our wind solar hybrid project, as we call it. In one project, we can capture both the wind and the sun. The really neat thing about this is this project interconnects directly into the local electric grid that you, as members of Lake Region, already own. So it's local production. There's no new costs associated with new transmission lines or overhead costs. It directly plugs back into the system that we already own. This project has now been up and running for 2 complete years, and the savings so far over those 2 years period of time is $485,000 for the members of Lake Region. And again, a quote from one of our members there at the bottom from our survey is very impressed with the co-op's efforts in expanding solar and wind power. You know, at the heart of our mission is improving quality of life for people, and bringing natural gas to unserved areas is a great example of how we are improving quality of life for our members and our customers, because we are helping people save money on their heating costs. By switching from propane to natural gas, people can save $300 to $500 per year, or about 25% on their home heating costs per household. Bringing this new service to the towns that we serve, which include Dent, Deer Creek, Parkers Prairie, and Miltona, has really been a rewarding process. In fact, we recently completed meetings with all 4 of those towns that we now serve natural gas to, and we met with the mayors and the city council members at their city council meetings. And for example, one of the city council members at one of our meetings, as we were explaining how things were going with our natural gas company, he said, "This is one of the best things we've ever done in our town." At another city council meeting, another council member shared with us his personal situation as he switched to natural gas and talked about how much money he was saving on his heating bills. If we can help reduce heating costs for our members, that just helps their overall family budget, and those dollars can be spent elsewhere for their family. The new natural gas company is a part of our rate stabilization program. We now have 798 natural gas customers in our first 4 years of natural gas business. We created a margin last year in 2020 of $46,000, plus $187,000 of costs was allocated off the electric cooperative into the gas company, and those dollars were collected through the ratepayers of the gas company, which creates positive rate benefits for all of our electric ratepayers. Well, how did your cooperative perform financially in 2020? I've got their income statement up here for you, and this is a consolidated income statement. Consolidated meaning it's both our electric cooperative and our natural gas company consolidated all in one. At the top there of the row or column of numbers, the total operating revenue, $54 million for 2020. That is the highest revenue in the history of our cooperative. Looking at the expense line items, we really work hard to control our expenses. We absolutely want to be good stewards of your dollars. So with good cost control, the other thing we experienced in 2020 was we did receive some federal funds from the PPP program, the Payroll Protection Program, to help us offset some of the costs of dealing with COVID-19. Those dollars showed up in the non-operating margins line. And with all of that, at the end of the year, the bottom line, we had a total margin of $6.6 million, which was the largest total margin in the history of the cooperative. I also want to carve out for you in this second column of numbers, just LRES, Lake Region Energy Services. That is our natural gas company. On the top line there, you can see the gas company brought in $1.3 million of revenue and produced that bottom line of $46,000. And again, in addition to that, and this is how the electric cooperative and the gas company kind of complement one another, we're able to allocate that $187,000 off the ratepayers of the electric cooperative into the gas company, and those costs are recovered from the rates of the gas company. So combined, that $46,000 margin and that $187,000 allocation creates a total positive impact by having this natural gas company of $232,000 last year. In addition, if you take a look at our balance sheet, just want to mention a couple items there. You'll notice that our debt increased $6 million. Well, why is that? Last year, in 2020, we borrowed money from the Rural Utilities Service, the RUS. That's the old REA program. And when we have a loan with the RUS that we can draw on, it has a shelf life. And at some point in time, it expires. And we were approaching that expiration date, and we had to make the decision, are we going to go ahead and draw down this $6 million that we were eligible to draw to help us build poles and wires and infrastructure on our system? Or do we let it expire and lapse, and those dollars are not then eligible for us to borrow? Well, when interest rates are at a historic lows, 1.3% for 30 years, fixed rate for 30 years at 1.3%, we made the decision to go ahead and draw that $6 million down, even though we really didn't need it at that time. We took those dollars, invested them in very safe investments. We're earning a rate of return on those investments slightly higher than the 1.3% interest rate we're paying on the debt. So overall, it has a little bit of a positive financial impact on the cooperative. And then the other thing you'll see on the balance sheet, because we drew that money down, our cash and our investments increased $7.1 million. So the investments actually went up more than the debt that we drew down. And again, that $6 million will be used in the future for building poles, wires, infrastructure on our system. Well, having another great year in 2020 continued to increase the equity of your cooperative. At the end of 2020, we had $63 million of equity on our balance sheet. That is a $40 million increase in equity at Lake Region since 2005. With that strong balance sheet, that strong financial position, once again, your board of directors last fall made a decision to retire capital credits back to the members. They made a decision to retire just short of $1.7 million that would have appeared on members' bills in December as a bill credit. With that retirement of nearly $1.7 million, our capital credit rotation is now down to 18 years. That's significant improvement from where we were a few years ago. That capital credit is made up of two pieces now. The first one, the big piece, is the Lake Region piece, of course. That was $1.4 million. So if you were a member of Lake Region back in 2002 or 2003, you would have received a bill credit in December representing your share of that capital credit retirement. The second line item, and what's relatively new to us, is the GRE piece. Now that GRE has also reached their financial targets, in recent years they have started to retire capital credits also. They pay the money to Lake Region, and then when Lake Region receives that cash, we then flow it through to you, the member owners, at the retail level. Last year, we paid back $239,000 of the GRE capital credits. And so if you remember back in 1985, 86, or 87, you would have received your portion of that GRE capital credit. That is now 8 consecutive years of record capital credit retirements paid back to our members. In our rich history of the cooperative, we have now paid out over $32 million since 1958, which was the first year of capital retirements in our history. As we got to the end of the year, we really wanted to do something for all of our members because of COVID-19 and the pandemic that we're all dealing with. And so the board made the decision, let's give a $25 bill credit to all of our members. We called that a COVID relief bill credit. And $25, maybe that doesn't change somebody's lifestyle, but we just wanted to do something to help everybody. It got a lot of good feedback from members. It was very much appreciated. So in total, on the January billing statements, we gave back another $583,000 for COVID relief. And I just want to say, if you or your family has been negatively impacted, whether it's for health or financial reasons, our hearts go out to you. And hopefully we are now through the worst of this and on our way back to some level of normalcy. And I hope we can be all together next year at our annual meeting. Shifting gears a little bit to reliability. To me, reliability is king in today's environment. Nothing works very well without electricity. And so we want to continue to drive outages out of our system for you. This chart shows the nice progress we've made over time in reducing those outages for our members. We've gone from 4.4 hours of outage time per member back in 2004 down to 1.9 hours per member for 2020. That's about a 50% decrease over that time. But we recognize the need for a more proactive approach to try to continue to drive those outage times down even further for our members. We continue to do a lot of system improvements. We continue to have an aggressive tree clearing program. But those two things at the bottom there in the green, our Exactor technology program, that's brand new. I want to share that with you. And our distribution grid improvement program also is brand new. These are two ways we are trying to be more proactive to drive outages out of our system. Well, the core of improving reliability, certainly for us, is continuing to trim those trees and remove trees when we need to. Last year, we trimmed or removed over 4,000 trees, spent about $1.2 million in our vegetation management budget. We continue to test the poles across our system. When they fail that test, we get out there and replace them. We replaced about 282 poles last year for a total cost of about $425,000. But we really want to be more proactive, and this is a good example of how we're being more proactive. We have approached our transmission service providers, both Great River Energy and Otter Tail Power, in recent years to help identify those weak spots on our transmission grid. The transmission lines are those larger structures and those larger substations that kind of bring the power into our service territory. And then Lake Region takes the power from our substations and distributes that down to your home or your business at the local level. I want to mention 5 major projects that are either completed, in the works, or will be completed shortly. The first one at the top of the screen there is the Lake Eunice substation. Lake Region Cooperative owns that substation, the Lake Eunice substation. We are building a brand new substation right next to the old one right now. There's a new transmission line that GRE is building right now that's going to feed our new substation there. And for those of you members who are served off the Lake Eunice substation, and we've got about 2,000 members that are served off of it, you know that we've had some challenges there with the transmission line that serves our substation. With this upgrade, this should improve the transmission reliability for those 2,000 members in that area. Things are going well on the construction. Hopefully that new substation and new transmission line will be energized this summer, hopefully in July, and hopefully those members in that area can tell the difference. The other big project is the Frazee Substation. That is owned by Great River Energy. Again, it's a transmission substation. It's a very large substation. It is going through a major upgrade. It's a multi-year project. There's also a new transmission line, an additional transmission line being built into that substation. So the several Lake Region substations that are served off of the Frazee substation should experience improved transmission reliability also once that project is finalized in a year or two into the future. The Schuster Lake substation near Perham, that is a brand new substation, a transmission level substation. There was not a substation there until about a year and a half ago. This new substation feeds about 4 of our distribution substation. And the great news there is, since this new substation was built, and our 4 distribution substations that are served off that have not experienced a transmission outage. So it's doing exactly what we had hoped in improving the transmission reliability to that area of our distribution system. The next one there is the Henning substation. It's owned by Great River Energy. Transmission substation, again, serves a couple of our distribution substations. It's being refurbished, and when that project is completed, again, that area down there should see improved reliability and voltage support. And then the last one, the 10 Mile Lake substation. That is a Lake Region substation. We've upgraded that in recent years and also installed about 13 miles of new underground cable out of that substation to improve some reliability down in that southern part of our system. The total project cost of all of these projects combined is approximately $22 million. We don't know a time in our history where this much dollars has been reinvested back into transmission to improve reliability in our area. These green shaded areas across our service territory, those are the areas that should see improved reliability as a result of the completion of these projects. That's over 18,000 of our members, or about 65% of our total membership. Our new program, our Exactor technology, this is brand new for us. We're really excited about it. The whole idea behind using this Exactor technology and innovation is to detect potential power outages before they occur. With this Exactor technology, we can identify pieces of equipment and hardware out there on our system that is in a pre-fail state. And when we do that, that means we can get out there, hopefully on a blue sky day like this picture shows, change out that piece of hardware that's going to eventually fail, preventing a power outage for our members. We've got a short video we want to show that explains this brand new program for us.
First and foremost, Lake Region Electric Cooperative's business is providing reliable, uninterrupted electrical service to members. With blizzards, negative 35 below zero temperatures, high winds, and summer storms, maintaining reliable service can be challenging.
As an organization, we pride ourselves on being strategic.
Each year, the company reviews the latest technologies and looks to implement new ways to assure reliable, accessible power for Lake Region members.
But in 2020, the challenges of COVID-19 has totally shifted our consumer electrical load, making the expectation for reliability much, much higher.
Suddenly, school and business life was now being done out of the home. Reliable power for internet connectivity was not just important, but critical.
With COVID, you could feel the intensity from members when there was a power disruption.
Kids couldn't do schoolwork. Business meetings could be cut off.
Our members' electric power needs had changed, and we had to respond.
But what do you do when you're already ahead of the game in reliability? How do you improve performance?
We realized that we had to change our reliability standards to meet the new demands of our members.
Minimizing outage times and responding quickly was no longer good enough. We had to find ways to prevent outages before they occur.
The search led the Lake Region management team to an emerging technology called Exactor. Exactor uses patented technology to identify and locate overhead equipment emitting electrical signals on overhead lines that indicate a pre-fail condition. These signals are a sign of deteriorating equipment. They are usually invisible, but are the most accurate indicator of a future power outage. In October of 2020, Lake Region decided to do a pilot project to evaluate the Exactor technology. The project inspected 150 miles of circuit along with 10 substations. It found 32 components on the lines emitting pre-fail signatures, each one a potential outage, and the substation assessments found 5 pieces of equipment emitting pre-fail signatures. Using the Exactor report and mapping, Lake Region linemen were able to go to the problem locations and replace the deteriorating equipment. Unlike other technologies that require linemen to stop at every pole and spend time inspecting, the Exactor sensor picks up the pre-fail electrical signatures as you drive the lines. This enables a much faster system inspection capability for Lake Region.
With this tool in our reliability toolbox, we will be able to patrol and assess large portions of our 4,400 miles of overhead line to find problems and preempt outages that would otherwise have been undetected.
In addition to standard line patrols, Exactor technology will be used by Lake Region Electric to solve a number of ongoing system challenges like finding the source of unknown outage causes, improving lineman safety by enabling planned repairs to be done during regular business hours, which minimizes the night and storm work, finding root causes of flickering issues, identifying the cause of ham radio interference, and locating any faulty workmanship after fast storm recovery or new construction. Exactor is a technology that can help Lake Region members, but primarily it enables Lake Region to move from responding to problems to preventing them.
Sometimes problems and challenges will drive you to new solutions you might never have found. For Lake Region, having the ability to predict and prevent outages for our members is the next generation of member reliability.
Well, this is a brand new program for us. We're really encouraged by what we are finding already on our system. Anything we can do to improve member reliability, as well as making our distribution system safer for our employees, that's truly a win-win. Yet another new program this year was our new distribution grid improvement program. The goal of this program is to improve reliability for our members and a safety for our employees by empowering our employees and unleashing the data analytics capabilities that we now have. This is that map I mentioned earlier that shows the customers and our members who have had multiple outages in the last 12 months. In fact, this plots out the members who have had more than 6 or more outages in a 12-month period, and we found 4,226 of those. We took this information to the board of directors and shared with them a plan that we had to go out into these areas and try to reduce those power outages in these areas. Your board of directors approved an additional $500,000 just for this year and just for these projects so we could implement the plan to make improvements in these areas, what we did was we empowered our linemen to go out and look, put their own eyes on these situations out there in the field. We gave them all the outage histories of what caused these outages in those areas and encouraged them to come up with recommendations and ideas on how we could reduce power outages in these areas going forward. They did a great job. They brought those recommendations back. Our engineering department worked through each one of those recommendations and made decisions on which one of those projects and recommendations we would start with. And what this map shows is the first round of distribution grid improvement projects that we will be working this year. These lighter green shaded areas show the areas we'll be focusing on yet this year. And once these projects are completed, we believe that our reliability should be improved for over 2,000 of our customers. You know, improving reliability for our members and safety for our employees really is a big part of our safety culture. If we look back at how many outages we had in the past, back in the 2003 to 5 range, we had about 1,250 power outages per year. We've worked that down in recent years to an average of about 880 outages per year, about a 30% reduction. And it's obvious that that helps reliability, but to me it also makes our system safer. If our power linemen can respond to fewer outages, that helps our safety program. If they don't have to be pulled away from their family for power outages in the evening hours, from the supper table, or from their kids' games, or have to get up in the middle of the night, that's just good for the quality of life of our employees. So I'm really proud of the progress that we are making on reliability and safety for our employees. As we look to the future and Great River Energy, our future power supply is going to continue to change and evolve. The good news for Lake Region Electric Cooperative members is GRE is forecasting lower wholesale power cost starting in 2023. You may already be aware that Great River Energy has made the decision to shut down Coal Creek Station, their large coal-fired power plant, or sell it. If they can sell it, that's another option. But clearly going forward, our power will come less from coal and more from renewables as GRE continues to bring on more wind power and move towards a more cleaner, renewable environment. In addition to the renewable power that we will have coming from GRE, we also have a very modern fleet of natural gas-powered plants for the reliability that we as members need. Just to talk about reliability a little bit more, these are the 4 natural gas-powered peaking plants that GRE owns. Not only are they powered from natural gas, they also have backup fuel supplies for redundancy at these power plants. The quote there from David Segu, the CEO of Great River Energy, says, "We have a fleet of modern natural gas plants in Minnesota that provide all hours reliability." So what does all of this mean for members of Lake Region? What does lower wholesale power costs mean if that starts in 2023? Well, we're trying to anticipate that, and your board of directors is already talking about that in the boardroom. Some of the things that we have been talking about is, number one, the board wants to continue to strengthen the balance sheet by increasing equity just a little bit more. They've set a goal to get our equity up to that 45%. We're actually very close to that now and should be reaching that this year or next year. The second item there, this probably will allow us to borrow a little less money relative to our total utility plant. Our total utility plant is our assets, all those poles, all those wires, all those substations. That is our total utility plant. And in the past, for every $1 of total utility plant that we have, we've borrowed in the neighborhood of 56 cents per every $1 of total utility plant. That 56 cents has come down over the years. We're now below 50 cents for every $1 of total utility plant. That will continue to come down and continue to strengthen our balance sheet. We also are running scenarios around how we can continue to invest in additional reliability initiatives for you, like the new Exactor technology, like the distribution grid improvement program. And then the last item there that we're very focused on, continuing our rate stability. We want to continue that into the future years. And I'm also going to step out of my comfort zone tonight and talk just a little bit about an aspirational goal. If things keep going well for the co-op and we see a reduction of wholesale power supply costs in 2023, your board is going to analyze, could we perhaps have a small retail rate reduction? That would be wonderful for our members, especially in a time where it seems like everything else is going up in price. If we could have a small retail rate reduction, that would be wonderful. The last topic I would like to speak about tonight is our wonderful Operation Roundup program. This program is truly about people helping people and how our small change can make a big impact. If you're not familiar with the Operation Roundup, I hope you give it some consideration and join the Operation Roundup program. How it works is each month, if you opt in for this program, we will round up your power bill each month, the next dollar. So that small change, average of 50 cents a month, goes into the Operation Roundup program. A volunteer group of Lake Region members volunteer to serve on the Operation Roundup Board of Directors, and they make the decision where those dollars are given to across our service territory out into the community to help organizations that you see on this slide. For example, dollars go to the volunteer fire departments. If they need equipment or upgrades with their technology and things, we can make an Operation Roundup donation to those volunteer fire departments. The one on the slide here is the Campbell Volunteer Fire Department organization. Their facilities are in need of modernizing and upgrading to make their facilities safer for the kids. We've donated to that as well. It's a wonderful program. We've now donated over the years just shy of $400,000. Really makes a difference in our communities, and we'd love it if you would consider joining that program. In conclusion tonight, as always, I just want to say, if you don't feel that we are committed to serving you, and if you don't feel that we are fulfilling that mission of serving you, please let us know, whatever the issue may be. We want to work with you and work through that to make sure that you are a satisfied member of Lake Region Electric Cooperative. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank Tim for his presentation and strong leadership he provides our cooperative. And now we will hear from Mark Fagan from Great River Energy to give us an update on the evolving GRE generation portfolio.
Good evening. My name is Mark Fagan. I'm the Vice President of Corporate and Member Services at Great River Energy. Tonight, I'll provide you an update on the performance of your generation and transmission cooperative in 2020. Great River Energy serves 28 member-owner cooperatives that collectively serve 60% of Minnesota and parts of Wisconsin. That represents more than 700,000 homes, farms, and businesses, or about 1.7 million people. GRE is a mission-driven organization whose purpose is to provide reliable, affordable electricity in harmony with a sustainable environment. We do that with 10 power plants and over 4,800 miles of transmission line. Like many utilities, our power supply portfolio is becoming increasingly renewable. We receive renewable energy from wind farms, solar installations, and hydropower facilities. From a financial standpoint, 2020 was a solid year. We achieved our margin goal, strengthened our balance sheet, and issued several special refunds to member owners. Throughout the year, monthly margins moved both above and below budget as driven by the weather. However, strong sales from May through August moved our year-end margin into positive territory. As a result, and at the direction of the Board of Directors, Great River Energy allocated our $31 million margin as follows. $23 million was set aside as a margin to meet our financial requirements. A $2.5 million bill credit was issued on the December power bills in the form of a rebate. We issued a refund for COVID relief in the amount of $2.5 million also on the December power bill, and that brings the total COVID relief refunds to our member owners in 2020 up to $8.5 million. And finally, $3 million of the margin was used to write off a portion of a settled post-retirement benefit plan. In 2018, we achieved our long-standing goal to return patronage capital to our members. This is a milestone that was the culmination of a plan endorsed by our board of directors and our member owners almost 20 years ago. In 2002, our member owners agreed not to receive patronage capital from GRE until we strengthened our balance sheet and reached a 20% equity to capitalization ratio. The plan was to reach that milestone in 2020. We achieved it in 2018. For 2020, we returned $25 million in patronage capital to member owners in March of this year, and we expect to issue sizable patronage for many years to come. COVID-19 presented challenges for industries and businesses worldwide, and GRE is no exception. On March 16th of last year, GRE implemented Phase 2 of its pandemic plan. Our key focus in transitioning GRE's operations was on the health and safety of all GRE employees. For our office workers, that involved remote work, which was enabled by technology we already had in place. For our approximately 400 power plant workers, line workers, mechanics, and technicians, that meant implementing strict hygiene standards and pandemic protocols for them to continue working safely in the field and at the power plants. We quickly implemented exposure tracking system and contract tracing plan. 1 year into this new way of working, we're proud to report that there has been no evidence of coronavirus community spread among our employees. There has been no degradation of productivity, and our safety metrics are better than ever. In 2020, Great River Energy set a course to strategically evolve our power supply portfolio. The map shows our power supply portfolio as it exists today. The large blue circle and black line represent our largest plant, Coal Creek Station, and the associated high voltage direct current transmission system. We made the very difficult decision in May of last year to shut down Coal Creek Station unless we are able to find a buyer for the plant and the HVDC system. In the coming years, GRE will phase out remaining coal assets, add significant renewable energy, and explore critical grid-scale battery technology. We project these changes will reduce wholesale electricity rates while cutting carbon dioxide emissions by 95%. As this transition unfolds, Great River Energy's fleet of fast-starting natural gas-fueled power plants will provide critical generating capacity and ensure energy supply remains reliable. This decision was welcomed by our membership and the financial community. Last year, Great River Energy's credit rating was upgraded from Moody's due in large part to the reduced risk associated with our power supply plans. Here's what our power supply portfolio will look like. In addition to shutting down or selling Coal Creek Station, Great River Energy plans to take the following actions. Add 1,100 megawatts of wind energy purchases by the end of 2023. Modify the 99 megawatt coal and natural gas-based Spiritwood Station power plant to be fueled by natural gas. And install a 1 megawatt long-duration battery demonstration system. Keep in mind that this energy plan is backed by GRE's existing fleet of natural gas and oil-fired combustion turbine generators, as indicated by the orange dots on the map. In addition to a portfolio that includes 10 power plants and hundreds of wind turbines, Great River Energy is a member of the Mid-Continent Independent System Operator, or MISO. MISO manages a large energy market covering 15 states with hundreds of energy resources connected by thousands of miles of transmission line. MISO members must follow strict rules to ensure that electricity remains reliable. Every electric utility in MISO must have the capacity to supply electricity for periods of highest demand, plus adequate reserves in case of emergencies. Being a member of MISO benefits our member-owner cooperatives by providing access to a vast pool of resources that help maintain reliability. Great River Energy's transmission system is part of the larger bulk power system. It is carefully built and maintained to ensure that electricity is dependable, safe, and affordable. It takes more than 100 substations, 4,800 miles of transmission lines, and strategically located technicians to meet the daily needs of our 28 member-owner cooperatives. GRE transmission employees collaborate to plan and address transmission system development and maintain reliability and resilience. That planning starts with discussions among our member owners to ensure that local load-serving transmission is meeting our member owner needs. GRE transmission is also in close collaboration with other transmission owners in the upper Midwest and the MISO related to regional transmission work and development. As such, Great River Energy is a founding member of Capex 2020, a partnership of utilities that upgraded and expanded the Midwest electric grid by developing more than 800 miles of high voltage transmission. In early 2020, they released the Capex 2050 Transmission Vision Report, a study identifying the elements necessary for continued safe, reliable, and affordable electric grid operation as the region transitions to a future with more variable generation resources like wind and solar. These utilities built on their successful collaboration by evolving Capex 2020 to Grid North partners so they together can continue to address future energy challenges. Great River Energy is your generation and transmission cooperative. Great River Energy is a strong cooperative because our member owner cooperatives are strong. You hold us to high standards. We must provide the right power supply resources. We must provide reliable transmission service, and we must remain financially strong. It is an honor to serve the members of Lake Region Electric Cooperative. Thanks for inviting us to your annual meeting.
Thank you, Mark. And now I'd like to ask Chad Festool to come forward and announce the results of the election.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The results are District 4, Earl Rydell with 323 votes. District 4, Dave Pawlowski with 127 votes. As a result of the voting, Mr. Rydell will serve as your director for District 4. There was 1 invalid ballot and 2 unexercised ballots, which means that no vote was recorded. Mr. Chairman, Survey and Ballot System certifies that this is a true and accurate statement of the election results. Thank you.
Thank you, Chad. Before we draw for prizes and conclude tonight's meeting, we would like to answer questions that have come in prior to the meeting and through live streaming.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm really pleased to announce we had 277 members logged on live with us this evening. That's wonderful. Thank you for your participation. I'd also like to thank all the members who submitted questions this evening. We really appreciate that. A big part of our cooperative is member engagement, and questions like this are a good example of that. The first question tonight is, are you considering changing the residential rates to be based on time of day rates? We have discussed time of day rates. There are no immediate plans to change residential rates to a time of day model. In the future, if offered, time of day residential rates are more likely to be introduced to the membership as an optional residential rate.
There was a question submitted about changing the board's policy with regard to the GRE capital credits. As our chairman indicated, the board's current policy is not to pay out the GRE capital credits that Lake Region has not received. And when a member passes away, the member's heirs have a choice with regard to how to handle those capital credits. The member's heirs can either ask the board of directors to do a special retirement, or they can receive the former member's capital credits over a period of time through the general retirement process. With a special retirement, the capital credits from Lake Region are paid out in a lump sum with no discount. The board of directors made a decision that it is not in the member's best interest to pay out the GRE capital credits that have not been paid out to Lake Region. The reason for this is that it comes down to economics and what is in the best interest of the membership. Lake Region cannot be in a position to pay out capital credits from GRE that may never be paid out. While we certainly hope that GRE will continue to pay out its capital credits, there's no guarantee that that will happen. And if GRE does not continue to pay out those capital credits and Lake Region pays out the GRE capital credits that it has not received, we will be in a worse economic position, and the current members would be harmed by paying out money that Lake Region would never receive. Now, if a member's heirs do not want to waive or give up any future right to the GRE capital credits, they certainly do not have to. Instead of taking a lump sum of Lake Region's capital credits, the member's heirs would be paid out the capital credits from Lake Region when the board determines that it is in the best interest of the membership to pay out those capital credits, and then also receive the GRE capital credits when GRE pays those to Lake Region. That payment process could take a number of years. The Board of Directors is committed to doing what is in the best interest of the membership and the cooperative as a whole. We appreciate the question and hope this provides some insight into why the board made the decision it did with regard to the GRE capital credits.
Good evening. My name is Steve Hybe, Manager of Energy Services, and we have a couple questions regarding distributed energy resource, namely solar. First one that we got is where can residential customers go to read about specifications and requirements for solar, energy storage, vehicle charging, and what options do we have for how we connect to the Lake Region grid, and when can we buy and sell energy? So first of all, it's a great question. On our website, there's a Renewable Energy Interconnection tab, and in that page there's a link to what we call the Nova Power Portal. And that hosts and maintains all current documents connecting up to a distributed energy system to the grid. In there, technical specifications, wiring diagrams, rates, process overviews, and even interconnection applications are all on the Nova Power Portal. Makes it easy to use and access any time of the day. Second question that we received is, can you simplify and encourage bidirectional flow of energy between customers and Lake Region Electric? Well, we have already taken steps to ease that, and currently we are utilizing multi-register meters that measure both forward and reverse energy. What previously required two separate meters, forward and reverse, and previously it was at a cost to the membership, so that has been improved definitely. We do have another question that came in. What can you do to encourage more residential and commercial storage of energy and incentivize using storage to reduce or eliminate expenses and polluting peak generation alternatives? So Lake Region implemented off-peak load management programs back in the early 80s, managing electrical loads during peak demand and high energy price times. While the dual fuel and peak shave water heating programs have been mainstays over the years, the storage programs have seen a lot more interest lately, especially large capacity storage water heaters. Our storage programs have our lowest rate, and rebates are available for both water heating and space heating programs. Another opportunity that may be available to our members in the future is battery storage. GRE, along with other entities, are exploring how battery storage can positively reshape load curves and reduce peak demands through pilot projects. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Al Fazio. I'm the Vice President of Engineering and Operations here at Lake Region. The question I'm addressing tonight is as follows. How is Lake Region planning to support greater demand for vehicle charging, both at home and public chargers? With regards to the EV rates, Lake Region supports vehicle charging by offering both a time of use rate, and we also offer a storage rate with very specific charging hours. Additionally, there are rebates that support the installation of a level 2 type charger for those members that go with a 240 volt charging option. From a distribution system standpoint, Lake Region does system planning to assure our system can handle typical load growth. Occasionally we see large spot loads that impact the system and need to be addressed independently of the longer looking planning studies. But typically the growth Lake Region sees year after year is slow but steady. Electric vehicle chargers will definitely have an impact on our distribution system and likely result in ramping up of the growth rate used in those future studies. Finally, regarding the public chargers, to date we have seen those pop up in places like Detroit Lakes and Fergus Falls, etc. Undoubtedly, if the day will come, they will want to interconnect on our distribution system when the timing's right, and that timing will probably coincide with a higher penetration of EVs by our members. And one thing that'll dictate how those are served is the size of those chargers we're looking at that time. So as time moves forward, Lake Region continues to monitor the activity and the advancement of the EV industry. And I just want to thank the member that submitted that question. Good question. Thank you.
Danny Kowalski, our cable locator and energy services specialist, is going to help draw for prizes. Remember, you must remain online to win.
Good evening, everybody. Fortunately, I get to help with the fun part here, the part of the meeting that everybody waits for. So we have several prizes here tonight. Keep in mind, anybody that wins a prize, it will be shipped to you, so you don't have to worry about that. We have a steel weed trimmer, we have a leaf blower, 2 iPads, a 3-pack of cameras, and a Roomba robotic vacuum. So if we want to go ahead and Dylan will spin the wheel here, we'll generate a name in this weed trimmer. It's so quiet that you'll probably be able to get up early, get the grass trimmed before 5 o'clock, won't even wake up your neighbor, you can get out on the lake fishing. So Dylan, if you go ahead and spin that wheel. The winner of the weed trimmer is William Martinson. Okay, the next prize is the leaf blower. And this leaf blower is so powerful, especially if you hook it to Lake Region's reliable and expensive power. You'll probably be able to blow your leaves for probably 2-3 cents each time. It's so powerful, you won't have to wait till fall when they drop. You can just blow the leaves right off the trees into your neighbor's yard. So let's see who's going to be the proud new owner of this steel leaf blower. Tammy Knudsen, you're the proud new owner of the leaf blower. Next up we have 2 iPads. They are both 8th generation iPads. Dylan, if you go ahead and spin the wheel, please. One iPad will be going to Catherine Prescott Adamatias. James Stevenson is the winner of the 2nd iPad. Next up we have a 3-pack of Wise cameras, 2 indoor, 1 outdoor camera. So if you see your wife's coming home, you can make sure you're on your best before she comes through the front door. Arlo Olson is the winner of the 3-pack of cameras. And our final prize for the evening, this is a nice one, the Roomba robotic vacuum. This one will free up a lot of time, so your wife will be able to have the dishes done when you get home from fishing. So, Dylan, if you could spin the wheel for the final prize of the night. Bernice Troutman, you are the winner of the Roomba robotic vacuum. Thank you.
Congratulations to our prize winners, and thank you for attending our Lake Region Electric Cooperative 2021 annual meeting. This meeting is now adjourned.